5 skills you need to start a business. Starting a business is one of the most exciting and challenging ideas you can take on. However, as most people discover, to make a business function, you need more than just an idea. You also need the skills to deal with the complexities of the business world. Let me share with you my story so you can understand how the most basic beginnings can become a foundation for something helpful and meaningful. My name is Montalvo. I was born in Cuba, and at the age of 6, my family and I moved to the US. We were looking for better opportunities. I learned early on in life that effort and dedication were key to success. So I graduated early at 16, which was great, but it also put me back because I had to join the workforce early. My first job was at 15 at a fast food place near my house called Crystal Burger. It wasn't the best job or the most glamorous, but it did teach me teamwork and responsibility, which are 2 incredible skills. Shortly after graduating, I got a second job at a clothing brand called American Eagle. Here, I learned how to deal with customers, handle objections, and most importantly, I learned the impact of first impressions. At 17, I started working at Publix, a grocery store. It was great. It taught me organization, logistics, but no matter how hard I worked, I started to realize something. If I kept going down this path without developing a skill, I would be stuck in job after job for the next years to come. I knew I didn't want to get into a ton of debt with the educational system the way that it is today, but I knew I needed a skill. So I started researching and I found a data analyst program for 6 months. It was intensive, but it did give me a skill set and tools to create a career from. But even with that certificate, there was no guarantee that I would succeed. I applied to over 500 jobs and only got 2 responses back. However, I didn't let that stop me, and I didn't let that discourage me. So the first interview didn't go so well. However, I didn't let that get me down, and I sure as heck wasn't letting it stop me now. Instead, I used it to get better. For the second interview, I prepared more, studied, got deep into books, and finally, I landed my first job. My first high-paying job, that is. But now, I work in a field that I'm passionate about, earn a decent income as an 18-year-old, and my main goal is to help others develop the skills they need to get into a high-paying job without a ton of debt, and therefore give them the stability to create their own business the same way I'm doing now. It was this experience that allowed me to start thinking about the skills that you really need to start your own business. No matter what business you want to start, these 5 skills are going to be essential for you to get that done. Number 1, problem solving. Being able to problem solve is the most useful skill in any business. Businesses are constantly going to run into issues. You're constantly going to need to be adaptive. And the number 1 thing that's going to help you through that is being able to solve a problem as it comes up on the spot. As an entrepreneur, it's very important that you're able to look at a problem, identify it, and choose the right solution. It doesn't have to be correct every single time. You're not always going to get it right. However, you have to be able to make that choice constantly and be able to continue growing as your problems continue evolving. When I applied to over 500 jobs, for example, and only got back 2 responses, I had to figure out what I was doing wrong with the first one to then be able to implement that into my second interview to get my job. Problem solving isn't just a skill that you need to have, it's a mindset. It's being able to get a challenge coming at you and turning that into a solution. This type of problem solving is what led to the creation of the iPhones, iMacs, technologies that we use today. And it's really what cemented Apple's legacy. The ability to tackle challenges head on is the essence of problem solving. Whether it be applying for your dream job or creating a global empire like Apple, you need to understand that problem solving is your biggest skill. Number 2, effective communication. Getting your point across to people is a hard skill. It's one I'm even still trying to develop. As you can tell probably with this video, I'm not the best at public speaking. However, it's important to be able to express your ideas clearly and persuasively. Whether you're doing a sales pitch, you're going to a business meeting, you're trying to get funding for a company, it doesn't matter. You're gonna need to know how to speak. While working at American Eagle, I learned that communication isn't just about speaking though. You're also gonna need to learn to listen. Listening is key. If you can understand what a person's problem is, you can understand how to tackle it, and you can understand how to speak directly to that person and target your audience. In doing so, you can build a stronger and more efficient and effective relationship between you and the people that you're speaking to. Amazon serves as a perfect example of this, communication leading to success. Bezos, in the early stages of Amazon, around 1994, started it as an Amazon e-commerce bookstore. Now, at the time, investors were a bit skeptical about online marketing. It was new, they didn't know what it was, and they'd never seen it. However, Bezos had to communicate his idea and pitch them an incredible pitch just to get them to sign off millions of dollars to him for a possibility of what could be. Today, Amazon is global, and I can't really think of one person that doesn't have it on their phone, which is crazy today. He convinced investors that the future of retail was digital, and today, his company is worth billions of dollars. Internally, Bezos also inspired his team to work longer, harder, and better than anyone else. His ability to align employees and partners through clear communication helped Amazon grow and fund to the point that it is today, expanding and growing into a global powerhouse in e-commerce, tech, digital, anything that has to do with the online marketplace. Bezos' communication not only set up Amazon for success, but helped them grow into an enormous company. And that might not be your goal, don't get me wrong. You don't have to be the #1 billionaire in the world. But that does go to show that communication is among the 3 best skills to have if you need to succeed in business. Number 3, money management. This one's self-explanatory. If you don't know how to manage your money, whether it just be making a budget, you're destined to fail in business. You can't succeed if you don't know how to set money apart, save, and plan for projects. Money management is a #1 skill to have to make money. It's in the name. I personally chose to go to get a certificate instead of going ahead and studying 4 years in school and getting in hundreds and thousands of dollars of debt. Now, is that an incredible financial decision? To me, it was. It might not be to everyone. However, if you do choose to go the route that I went, it's gonna save you a whole bunch of money. And that's a skill that you need to have, to be able to make a decision to not waste money unnecessarily. I earned myself a job that earns high paying income only with 6 months and about $600. I have a cousin who studied over 4 years for the same degree, and he still hasn't been able to find a job. So weigh your losses, weigh your wins, and understand how to manage your money to make the most out of it. Airbnb poses another great case study for money management or finance management. These 3 dudes who founded Airbnb started by not having enough money to pay their rent in the San Francisco area. So they inflated a mattress and they rented it out to employees and office attendees for weeks at a period, creating a cost-effective solution to a city-wide accommodation shortage. That's crazy. The founders didn't have a lot of cash or a lot of money initially, but they hunkered down and they were able to find a way to make loads of money through taking early investments and early earnings and reinvesting it back into their small business to create now a home service that is global. We have it all around the US, all around the world, even in islands like Puerto Rico. It's crazy. Their finance management idea helped them turn a small business into a huge home sharing giant. By carefully budgeting, Airbnb not only became the #1 home sharing service in the world, but became a multi-million-dollar company just by making sure they took the right money into the right places. Number 4, adaptability. You've probably heard me say this earlier on in the video when talking about problem solving, but if you want to succeed in business, you're going to need to be adaptable. You're going to have to be able to change based on your resources and change based on your environment. We're all not put in the same economic position. Some of us start lower, some of us start higher. Some of us start in Cuba, a place that's not the best, and are eventually moved over to a better place kind of economically. However, we all have to battle with our demons. We all have to find what it is that we do have and choose to use that to make a good impact on our own business and our own lives. The market, customers, technology, it's always changing in every business. I've learned over my career that going from retail, fast food, logistics, and now data analyst, a lot changes. And you have to be willing to adapt and quickly. Typically, the period that you have to adapt between one job and another is very short, and you have to be able to constantly move forward despite all of the obstacles in your way, especially if you want to make a business succeed, as a business is only moving forward if you choose to move it forward. Flexibility is crucial to staying relevant and useful in any market that you're in, whether that be sales, marketing, online services, digital marketing, product acquisitions, anything. Finally, number 5, if you start any business alone, you're eventually gonna fail. Therefore, leadership is your number 1 skill. Eventually, in any business, you're gonna meet other people, you're gonna have to collaborate, you're gonna have to expand your business. And if you can't lead people and create a group and a business environment, you will never be able to succeed. You need to learn to lead by example. Employees, partners, collaborators, they're all gonna look up to you if you're creating a business. You're gonna need to inspire these people to work harder and work better than they ever have before. You're gonna create an area where people feel like they can work and they can create something important. A good leader will inspire confidence, delegate work, and find what talents everyone is best suited for. All of these are characteristics of leadership. My first job taught me the importance of leadership. It showed me how far a good leader can change an environment. As I said, I worked at a fast food place. Now, if you've ever heard of Crystal Burger, it's not the best place. Not because of the food, but typically because of the people. The place where I worked at, everyone was terrible. The leaders didn't show up. They would drink on the job. They would take care of their hygienes very poorly. And all of this was a problem. They could barely manage themselves. How would they manage a team? Through this course of actions, I took a leadership role over the rest of the employees to the point where I became a leader at 15 years old. Now, I don't say this to flex or for any praise. However, this experience taught me that if you want to grow and if you want to succeed in any business, a good leader will make that happen. You need to be pushing yourself as far as you can to help other people so that they can succeed just as much as you can. You must create a good work environment so that people are prepared to work for you. A good leader is crucial for motivating and achieving a team success. So build your leadership skills before you start a business. Now, I won't take up any more of your time, so I'll end it with this. These skills will prepare you to face any challenges that you come up with through your entrepreneurship journey. These skills will not only help you prepare for the challenges to come with entrepreneurship, but they'll also make sure that you build the confidence you need to succeed in business. So remember, the path isn't always easy, but with the right tools, it'll make it a lot easier. Entrepreneurship, at the end of the day, is a game. It's about the skills that you earn, the achievements that you complete, and how far and how long you're willing to play the game. So, best luck to all of you, and I hope that you take these 5 skills into account before starting your own business.